Good morning. Let me zoom out. How far out? Let's see. I guess I'll just go all the way out. That, that's all the way out. I just wanted to show a deck I've had for, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months, I don't know. But I played with it a lot, or used it a lot, or whatever, in February. And it seemed like an odd timing because all of a sudden I noticed there were video reviews, and then one person even used it as a starting point for another deck. I'll link to all of those people and a really short playlist by this guy that did this deck. John Knowles, I think, is the name. Strangely, it's not on the front cover of the box. Boy, there it is. That took a while to find. It says John Knowles, and not to leave out the other person, Linda LeBlanc. Maybe she's the artist, he's the author. I don't know. But this is called Reincarnation Cards, Awakening Far Memory. I'm not sure that's exactly what it would discover yourself. Remember what you were and who you are. I'm not sure that is exactly what's going on in the book, but remember past and future incarnations. I'm not going to agree with that. Wake up from the dream of life. I guess I can go with that, but it comes in this box. Get the box out of the way. And I had some notes that I just slapped together, but there's a whole other journal with a lot more thoughts about this, that, and the other thing that's kind of related to this. But I won't bore you with that. But I will read these, I think, here in a second. But first, let's see. It comes with this book, kind of an older style book. I forget the year that this is published in. Let's look real quick. 2007. But boy, this seems like a book from the 50s or something. It's got that cracky, creaky, strange sort of binding. If you can hear any of that. So anyway, but it does lack the thing that it should have, of course. Well, we won't look at that. It lacks an index, but it does have a pretty good glossary. I mean, you could pick up a lot if you're new to all this stuff just by reading the glossary on page 169. But I wrote a note up there, no index, which is weird. I think it's weird for a book. Now, if this was a PDF, I wouldn't complain because I could do, Command Control F and type in a word and find all the places it occurs in the document. But you can't do that with a book. That's why a book should have an index, I think. Okay, enough complaining. Like, what if I just wanted to find every page that had the word gestalt on it? I can't do that without reading it again and again and again and again. But that's a good intro there to some of those. It does, to its credit, have a bibliography and another bibliography. Or is that a recommended reading list? I don't know. It has a divided up bibliography, so that's pretty good. It does have further reading. Not sure I would send you to the Moreau Institute, but that's okay. We glean what we glean from where we glean it. That's a bit about the author. I'm not sure what an MA degree is, Master of Arts, is it? Or something, I don't know. He says it's Canadian. Linda Ann LeBlanc. They're both Canadian, I guess. She accompanied her husband. Oh, okay, it's the wife. I'm not sure who's getting credit for the artwork on the cards. Maybe they both did it. Cypriot. Anyway, I'm probably taking too long here. But um, also wanted to mention that a lot of what's talked about in the book is also in Alan Watts' book, Out of Your Mind. But Alan Watts' book isn't really a book. It's a copy of the lecture that you can watch on Google. I'll try to remember to link to that also. Sometimes I fall asleep to this. I get like partway partway through where he's talking about the Tao, where he goes off into Hinduism or Buddhism or the old Zen Buddhism, and he complains about Japanese Zen Buddhism sitting too much and meditating too much, and I'll fall asleep. But they're so long that it lasts. It's like 2 days worth or something. It's unbelievable that somebody put all that up there. But anyway, first I'm gonna read from this a little bit, and this is just today's date, Wednesday, February 28th, 2018, 2018. It's kind of about past lives, reincarnation, and for me, I see and agree with several other people. Watts is one of them, where children, not necessarily your children, but any children, are really represent reincarnation. It's like a do-over because they see the world through, you know, brand spanking new eyes, ears, whatever. They experience new experiences. It's a sense of awe all over again. I don't think me personally has to come back, but in a manner of speaking, you do. It just depends on your viewpoint. I wrote down, for some reason, as many have said, spend some time, not too much, because you don't want to miss the beauty that's around you, to look inside ourselves and perhaps make a connection with something higher or more divine. In other words, become awakened, as they often say. Excuse the sniffles. Mother Nature has decided to start April showers and May flowers around here in February for some reason. But in other words, become awakened, which is often taken to mean, nirvana or be more childlike. Well, I wrote, not the terrible twos, to find a higher, more pure type of sense within yourself. And then a failure to do so will prevent you from understanding the source of all. I guess that's one downside to you not doing that. Another one is you'll get wrapped up in too many mundane things. But anyway, I also wrote, careful to remember that language and symbols are illusions, and seeing and hearing, our senses, which are all touch anyway, are ultimately processed in your brain, and your brain works really hard to make everything we sense, touch only, even your eyeballs are touch, into something familiar and comfortable to live in. In other words, our brain reduces and filters our world into an illusion so our bodies can function within the world. Then I have this thing in the journal where I turn it around because it's easier to write that way. So again, I say careful. I'm not sure why I'm doing all this caveat emptor stuff. Careful about always taking someone who's older, skinny, like they look hungry, and has a long gray beard as necessarily being wise. I mean, if that was true, all these hillbillies around here would be very wise. They all look like Santa Claus in disguise, like his summer home. But that appearance is kind of stuck in a lot of our heads as a symbolic hermit, which doesn't necessarily equal wise. That's what a little equal sign with a line, diagonal line through it means, not equal. They may just be lazy or given to a contemplative life. And I would count myself as guilty of both of those things, but that doesn't make me wise. But then again, that's also okay, I think. So enough of that reading. Let's the reason, oh, here's an advertising card that comes with it. That's what, I don't know that any of the backs look like that. Maybe we'll see, but that's the back on the advertising card. And I have them divided up into 5 piles here because if we look in the book, our first marker, what would I do without these little post-it sticky things? They're so cool. The 5 card backs are, you've got a square, kind of a circle, more of an ellipse, a diamond, a plus sign, and then the infinity sign, or whatever the right word, limnoscate, I don't know what the word is for that. But I see it as an infinity sign from math. But each one of those is groups of, kind of a way to categorize life, past life, anyway. It's occupation, culture, environment, theme, and termination. So this is occupation, this is culture, this is environment, this one is theme, not sure about that one, and this is termination. So we'll get to the next part of this book here in a second. The secret. Don't really like when they do the secret stuff. Well, let's go ahead and do that. And it's a nice recap of various religions and non-religions and the thoughts in them, behind them. But basically, like a lot of this, it comes down to what is said here in the highlighted part, which I'll let you read a little bit. You can always pause, right? You are not the body. You are not the body, nor do you have a body. I kind of think I do. You are not a soul, separate and apart from anything or anyone else. You are pure consciousness itself, in upper, in caps for some reason. Nothing is known or can be known. Yeah. Thank you, Buddhism. Other than in and as consciousness. All that you perceive is perceived within you and is your very self. Yeah. Sometimes you can pay, from some of these gurus, you can plop down some bucks and spend some time at their camp, and you come away, hey, there's nothing to realize. Yeah, there is. I won't point out what that is, but there is. So how are we going to do this? First, we'll leave the book open so I can see what each thing is, or refresh my memory, and then we'll zoom in and flip through. Let's do the piles, so to speak. Oops. It's always hard to reach around a microphone. Let's zoom in so you can see the cards clearly, and see if I can pick them up. I don't think I can. Not straight on the board like that. Let's bring in the ever popular cheap Walmart green washcloth. So these cards here, starting with 1, says government. This is occupation. And these are thick cards. Let's see how big they are. Just to give you an idea, we'll start with inches. It's about 3 1/4 inches wide and 5 1/2 tall, so it's pretty big. And again, with centimeters, that's 9 1/2 wide and 14 tall. So there we got the logistics, the physicals out of the way. That's the first card. That's what the backs for occupation look like, and you can see the square there. I'm not sure why we have to have that particular symbol, but that's okay. Can I move them over so you can see the back at the same time? There's law. I guess I should speed up a little bit. These are simplistic, cartoonish-like drawings, which for me doesn't really help with I don't know, a topic like reincarnation and past life? Shouldn't there be a bit more, I don't know, watercolor, uh, abstract, fuzzy, blurry, something like that? I'm not sure. I'm searching for the word and I can't find it. But I think that would have helped to invoke or at least put you in the mood for that sort of thing. Hmm. So what do we got? We got music. We got sculpture, painting. What's that there? Oh, two musics. Hmm. Seems a little heavy on the music. So, I mean, I like that, you have just about everything you could think of for occupation here. Not sure beggar's an occupation. Maybe you would have been in that courtesan. Oh, I'm not going to look too close to the dude's towel. Mother. Not really seeing that as an occupation. But I guess it certainly takes time. Even a father. Religious. I can't identify all of these. I can see Catholic, Egyptian, whatever. Buddhism, Islam. Not sure. So those were the occupation cards. Let's just put them over here. Up next is culture. So we got prehistoric culture. I don't know. Every time I see it, I laugh. I don't know why. There's this monkey with a stick and some cartoony dinosaurs. Were we even around then? I guess that's one theory. Oh, that's what the backs look like. This is obviously a circle, unlike the book, which is more of an ellipse. I don't think we were around then. Maybe we were. Nobody knows. If we were, that's another explanation for why there's no dinosaurs. We probably ate them. Proto-historic. The cards look better over there. Why is that? Mesopotamia? It's kind of a nice card. So I guess this would be what culture I may have been in a past life. Let's see how good they are at this. Dark Ages. Okay, that's a little too happy for the Dark Ages. Don't you think it should be darker? It should be a lot more excrement around. Perhaps a few plague bodies. But then again, maybe the Dark Ages weren't as dark as they're always portrayed. Celtic. That would have been a tiny group of people. The Renaissance, I guess. Not sure about the ordering here. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm going to shuffle them anyway. Islamic. India, Southeast Asia. Hinduism. I'm pretty bad at the symbols. That's why I got all the symbology books. China, Japan. I could just kind of merge those together. Central Asia. Does that say Tibet? Yep. Central America. Nice pyramid. South America. These are nice. I mean, they're matte. And got some kind of filler in the middle to give them some stiffness. If you're into that sort of thing. Indigenous, tribal. Just kind of summarize that real fast. Alien. Ooh. I guess I didn't notice that one before. Okay. So that was a show of what? Of culture. Put that back in the pile. Up next is environment. Gonna lean these so I can pick them up. Oops. Now he messed it up. Desert. Forest. Mountain. That's me. Well, if you can call the hills in Southwest Virginia mountains. Fields. Oh, sorry. Keep forgetting to look at the camera. Riverine. Is that like Wolverine? Riverine? Not sure how to pronounce that. Oh, here's the back, by the way. It's a triangle for environment. Town. Kind of Swiss, German. Not sure. City. Marine. Seashore. So that was environment, the diamond. Okay, what's up next? What's up next is theme, and it's a plus or a cross, depending on how you look at that. There we go. Abundance and penury. Looks like asking, or I gotta look that word up. Gross. This is a theme. Justice and injustice. You don't often see that. Balanced and unbalanced together at last. Sorry. Stability and instability. The Tower card. And the pyramid. Well, that's a nice image. Love and independence. Oh, no, love and indifference. They have their backs to each other and they have their faces. Well, they're still not really facing each other. They're kind of sideways. Power. I noticed in the guy's playlist, this John Knowles, that in the background, it may not be his place, but in the background, there's this thing on the wall where you hang pots and colanders and, cooking stuff. But he also, the person has bells. And then off to the side of that, there's a peace sign. I found that interesting. Is that to alert you in case someone's going to do some fry pan action? What's with the bells on they're kind of cool looking bells. That guy can really sit in a chair. I mean, to tell you, that's obviously a recliner, and he's mastered the art of reclining. Creativity and destructiveness. I will link to that playlist in the description. Freedom and servitude. And I may be going on too long in this video, but hey, it's reincarnation. It takes a while. Greed and generosity. Not sure I'd put them together. Couldn't they have been separate cards? Betrayal? Oh my goodness. Stabbed in the back. Fear. But and maybe that's an appropriate way to do it. Fear, but in a mirror. Anyway, so that was theme. So the last is termination. And we got the infinity symbol for that. What is this? Peaceful. I guess this is... I'm not sure what this is. Termination. But it's about reincarnation. Anyway, water. I'm fairly certain I spotted Keanu Reeves right out here with a surfboard, but I don't think so. These people are running. Those people have been absorbed or flooded. Fire. Wow. Over there really pops off the card. Oh, I see. Two people. I thought they were rock formations. I kind of like that one. War. Yep. Three kinds. Kinda. What's this? Ugh. Suicide. Stabbing, poison, and hanging. And nope, just those three. I'm not sure those are the recommended three. Then again, who recommends suicide? Attack. Yep. Accident. Now, are we still falling, or have we fallen? Can we tell from this image? I would say we're in the act of falling. Disease. This is back dark ages. Can I bring out put it on the cart? You see the rats there? I guess that's alluding back to. Now up close, that's interesting, more interesting art, like a watercolor. I guess I didn't notice that before. Catastrophe? I say so. This is, what is the place? Vesuvius. What is the town? Heraculum. I can't remember now. Heracleum. Starvation? Oh my goodness. So on that note, that was a quick look at the reincarnation cards from John Knowles and Linda LeBlanc, his wife, I think, or was. So I'll just leave that there and put these back so you can see the backs. And then on that we will end. So that was a quick show of, zoom out, and I will have all of those links I mentioned down in the description. So that was a quick show of the reincarnation cards, Awakening for Memory. But you might want to also check out a video that Chris 379000 did. I don't know why I can remember that so easily. I think it adds up to 19, which then adds up to 10, which then adds up to 1. So it could really just be Chris 1. But anyway, this is the Reincarnation Cards, Awakening for Memory by John M. Knowles and Linda LeBlanc. And with that, I will say peace.